On a Thursday. Let's get it.
Bring your asses.
Come on down.
Come
What's good? What's
on
Yeah,
in.
good?
no,
Come on
you
in. Come
you
on.
right there. You right there. Come on down.
Have a seat.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Right
sir.
on here. You ain't watching, you ain't watching football yet. Look, it's the first quarter. You'll be all right.
Yes,
bring,
sir.
bring your asses.
Good seeing you, fellas. Good seeing you.
Good to be back. Good to see y'all.
Yeah,
Man,
y'all must have had a good time. I ain't seen y'all in the week and a half since I ain't seen you since homecoming. Wasn't even get on the pod since homecoming.
Look, I told you I was gonna have a good
like
time.
we talking like we all didn't see each other at homecoming.
Like, come on, man.
I just
Come
want
on,
to
bro.
I just want to start some shit early into the pod. That's all I wanted to do.
Lito got a new house set up. He think he the man now. That's what this is.
I
But
don't
you
think
know,
I'm the
you the
man.
man, bro. But you are the
I
man.
ain't I'm far from the man. I'm just a man. Ooh.
Hey, man.
Hey, come on.
Now let's go.
Hey, come on, man.
Take him to
Look at that
church.
love I just gave my man. I gave him a love.
Look, man. Too easy, brother. We do this, bro. We do this, man. Everybody come on in. We about to get this thing started. We know we missed y'all. We got a lot to talk about. Shit, man. Without further ado, let's go and get
before I
into it,
forget,
bro.
we need to
What's
put
up?
that on the shirt. Write that down. That goes on the shirt.
That's a shirt I did.
That's another
I'm just
shirt.
so mad.
I'm not the man. I'm just a man.
And then a man with the hands like this.
Amen.
Come on, man.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Look, I'm not finna deal with y'all today, man. But
You ain't got
look,
no
I
choice.
appreciate it. I
You
guess
ain't
I
got no
don't.
choice.
I guess I don't, damn it. I guess I don't. Come on in, y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe. We about to get on into it. So, like Lito said, we can get on with this Ravens and Eagles game. I actually think that's gonna be a good game too.
For sure, Brady.
Yep.
Cool.
Let's get it.
Welcome to Let's Be Real Sports Podcast, presented by Let's Be Real Media. Watch us live on YouTube and Twitter, and follow us on TikTok and Instagram at LBR_media. Also, subscribe to us on any podcasting platform.
What's going on? BLJ here, the best hype man in the NBA. Man, I'm here with Let's Be Real. Tune in. Hello.
Let's be real.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to another episode 257 of the Let's Be Real podcast. I'm your host, your blessed host. Action, everybody, just breathe. Just give a strong woo-saw as you hear the sound of my voice. It's gonna be all right. We gonna be all right. We here, so just breathe and smile. Again, I'm your host, Tev Shakir. It's where you can find me on everything but Threads, because why do you have one? Of course, with the fellas on the Thursday. Trev, what's good, my brother?
Man, as the great American philosopher Earl Sweatshirt has been saying recently, I'm not okay, but I'm gonna be all right. So if anything, just remember that, man. What's good, everybody?
And of course, we got Lito with the Kwame Brown setup.
Hey,
Shout out to
just
Lito.
read my
Mr. Daddy
tagline
2 times.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do not have a Kwame Brown poster.
Okay.
Tuga's just trying to he's trying to troll me, right? He's trying to troll me. There's no Kwame Brown poster in my room. There's a Kobe Bryant
If you were to take this camera to the picture I'm referring to, and the Kwame Brown is bigger than the Kobe, it's a Kwame Brown poster.
That's not a Kwame Brown poster. He just so happened to be.
He just so happened to be on it.
Kobe Bryant is also on that picture, on that poster. Lamar Odom is also on the picture. Kwame Brown actually won a championship ring. So let's show a little bit of respect to Kwame Brown.
You got it, bro. You love him. Oh man, what's good, bro?
Actually, no, he didn't. I lied. He didn't.
I saw. I
don't think he was on
I
that
don't
team.
think he did it.
I'm just trolling, y'all. I tried to get away with it. And I wouldn't have if it weren't for no meddling kids. Looking at
if it wasn't for the meddling kid. Oh man! Of course, when we get started, man, just temp check. We of course y'all like to have temp checks in the message, man. How your households, how y'all mentals. I know it's some interesting times we're living in right now. We ain't got to do a whole deep dive because we're here to talk about sports to get y'all mind off of it. But just a real quick mental check, man. How y'all gentlemen doing?
Man, I'm gonna keep my real simple and quick and just say that like mental is a whole lot better today than it was on Tuesday. I'm just one of those people. I've shifted my energy to things that I can control, and the village that's around me. So I'm just going to focus on what I can focus on, and lean on people like y'all and lean on people like that in the Let's Be Real group, because things like this in my outlet, and so you know things happen that I'm not fond of on Tuesday, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna keep it pushing.
I mean, that's all we can really do. Just kind of echo those sentiments, man. Slowly but surely, man, I'm getting back in the thick of things and controlling what I can control. Of course, everything is like I said. Tuesday wasn't the greatest because I did not sleep at all Tuesday. I literally just passed out from exhaustion because my body just would not allow me to go to sleep. But hey, at the end of the day got to end. You know what Glorilla said. So hey, it is what it is. I'm just looking out for me and the missus. And the folks around me. So, hey, and I got y'all. So, hey, it is what it is. So, yes, but I'm good.
We do have each other. We are one big happy family. Of course, that's kind of why I'm wearing the what is over what if. Because we got to have each other backs, bro. That's what we're here for. We can't keep continuously tear each other down because we don't get the results in life that we want. We keep this shit going and we keep it moving. We try to do it together. So that's why I'm dedicating this episode again to the black men out here. Man, y'all smile out here, bro.
For sure.
Just smile. And of course, shout out to our black women as well.
Black women, we love you.
We love you.
We 100% understand.
Just smile, please.
We understand.
Do something to make you smile. Do something to make you happy. If it's the sound of our voice that we finna get into, then damn it, that's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for.
We're
here.
What up, Ryan?
Big Ryan in the building.
Big Ryan out here. Big Ryan. Speaking of, man, let's get into the show. Of course, man, make sure y'all tap into the whole network. Let's Be Real Media. On everything as well. Shout out to 3 the Hardaway Pod. Of course, we back recording. Should have an episode dropping on Spotify within the next day or so. But of course, we're on YouTube already with our latest episode. Shout out to the Jeans Report. I think he just hit 1,000 plays overall. I think it's overall. So big congrats, big things going on. Of course, shout out to James, man. Make sure y'all tap in.
Y'all know what's going on here in the 901 on this football field. Hey.
Oh Lord! Hey.
I
was on a high and positive wave.
No, I'm gonna leave it at that. All I'm saying,
please. I was on a wave, and
let's
don't worry about it. We'll bring it back. We're gonna get back on the wave. We good.
Oh man, of course, Ryan Harris with the jump pass pod already in the comments, man. Again, salute to Ryan as well. Salute to my
good
guy.
Pod, by the way, good pod.
I feel like that still owes me food.
Ooh.
Even though, Dame, we always bet when the Carolina Panthers and the
oh, that's right, because the Panthers did beat the Saints last week.
I'm done. I told y'all I was done watching the Panthers this year, and I meant it. But I still feel like he should give me food. I feel like that. I don't know why. Damn it. Good job, Panthers, I guess. But that's a meal I missed out on because I was whatever. And of course, whatever, man. Shout out to y'all Steelers. I can't wait to get to this power rankings in just a bit, but of course, man, make sure LBR gaming with Trevor, man. We on that mud getting dubs in the wreck, man. May y'all go check.
Check that video out. Me and Took in the wreck getting W's out here, bro.
Let's get it, man. All right. So speaking of which, bro, we got. Any flowers that we like to give out on this early section of the pod, man? What we got?
Yeah, real quick. I don't believe we've recorded since then. So my flowers goes to the season that the WNBA had. I don't believe we've recorded since then. I think we recorded right before that finals or that series ended. So I just want to give a huge shout out to the ladies of that organization, of that league, to the organization, to the players, the milestones that were surpassed, the great play, the great competition, the great matchups, like the great shot making, especially in net finals. So I definitely just want to give a huge kudos to that league that definitely got some eyes and some viewership. I think most of all time, or since that league has come to fruition. So I definitely appreciated the season that was the WNBA this past season. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, I mean the list goes on and on. Asia Wilson, like I said, the list goes on and on. And I just was really appreciative of the solid overall season that they had. I found myself watching some WNBA games over some college football or over some NFL. And for me, that's a lot, right? So I just want to give a huge shout out to the league, huge shout out to women's sports in general, because if nothing else, let's be real, going to be talking about it. So huge flowers to that organization, to that league.
Thanks. Also, what we didn't, last time we recorded, I think we were like rushing towards the World Series. So I'll use this time to give my flowers to the Los Angeles Dodgers, who pretty much smacked my New York Yankees around in that series. But hey, it was an excellent series. It was competitive every which way out. I think every game was contested by at least 4 runs or less. But yeah, big shout out to the Dodgers. Of course, I'm more than happy with the Yankee season. Did not expect us to be back in the World Series hunt the way that we were. But yay, we just retooled and reload. So first things first, get Juan Soto re-signed. We already got Garrett Cole locked up for the next few years or so. So we'll see what happens with those winter meetings. But yeah, shout out to the Dodgers.
Lito, I'm happy you brought up the WNBA because I want to give us a little early homework. I know this is the flower segment, but I really think that it's important for us to talk about and have the right information and kind of think about what to talk about next week. So next week, early homework. I want us to talk about why the WNBA lost $40 million this season.
Are you serious?
I want us to have a good talk about it. I want us to do our listeners justice, and I want us to come in with the right headspace. So again, the WNBA lost $40 million this year. We're going to talk about that next week. So again, I hate to say this right now, but I'm happy you did bring that up, Lito, again, because that's something us guys as fans, supporters of the WNBA, we do need to talk about. Maybe a good talk, maybe a bad talk, but it's going to be a quick
answer. I have a quick answer anyway, but I would.
Let's go. If you want to say it, cool. If you want to do it, cool.
It's for flowers, and I don't want to say what I want to say based off of the question that you had. Okay. So my answer will be saved to next week.
Homework. All right, that's homework, people.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, listeners, get ready as well. We need to kind of get to the bottom of this and figure that shit out. All right. Let's see. Next topic, of course, being in the city of Memphis. Go ahead and have a little Grizz, just a little Grizz talk, so we ain't gotta have Grizz Nation on our backs, even though I really don't care less. I mean,
we gotta talk about the game last night. That was special at the very least.
Oh man, well, the Lakers and Ja almost getting his ass whooped by LeBron.
I don't know if that happened.
What? I don't think that
was. You can't be pulling up on Brown like that. He's still 6'8", 240 by now. You can't be doing that, dog. But real quick, what are y'all thoughts real quick on the Grizzlies' success or unsuccess of the season so far? I think it's a successful season so far.
Yeah,
go ahead. No, you got it.
Yeah, they were 5-3, right? Something like that.
I get that math, and 3, 2, 5, and 4.
5-4. Yeah. So I wouldn't necessarily call 5-4 a success, considering who 2 of the 4 losses came to. I think let's start there. If you talk about the Brooklyn Nets, if you start the season and say,
three of the 4.
What do you mean 3 of the 4?
3 of the 4 losses.
3 of the 4 losses. 2 came to the Nets, and the other one came. The one you're referring to is they were up 20 against the Bulls. The Bulls, yeah.
The only game I went to the season.
Yeah, that's tough.
Thank you.
3 of the 4. 3 of the 4.
The part where I'm disappointed from me, I mean, it's they're all to a okay start. I wouldn't call it a solid start or a great start. For me, where I've been a little bit disappointed are in those 3 particular losses right there. You talk about losing to a Brooklyn Nets team, like to be. Call a spade. Like, I don't believe the Brooklyn Nets have aspirations to do much of anything this NBA season, right? And you look at the roster, it's an okay roster, but is it a roster where you at the start of the season, if we're going to say, okay, what's the Grizzlies record after the first 10 games? I'm pretty sure we looked through we looked at those first 10 games and said, oh, we got the Brooklyn Nets twice. Yeah, mark me down for both of those dubs. You get the Bulls, that's a tough one because you were up 20, 25, and you lost that game. The part for me where I'm disappointed is the lack of, it's not, I guess, want to enthusiasm. Like, I was expecting the Grizzlies to kind of come out in this season and say, "Oh, like we here," right?
Mhm.
Like considering where we've been the last 2 years, or considering where we were last year. You just take last year for example to say, okay, we were without job majority of the year. The only one of our three big starters that played majority of the season was Jaren. We had hella injuries. We couldn't stay healthy. So my thought process was, we're going to go into the season like it's foot to neck, like we on niggas' ass this season. And I just feel like there's been too many times where like I have not gotten that. And where you're in a conference where every game is going to matter, I just feel like they just have not had like that level of aggressiveness that I wanted them to have to start the season. Again, it's a very long season. I'm not here to criticize everything that they've done, because there has been some good, right? There's been the J Hus of the world.
Yes,
There's been some
sir.
there's been some really good play from guards or from players that you necessarily did not expect, or you were huff past.
Off
Exactly.
a pass.
Yeah. So like there's some stuff that you've seen that's really, really good. I it's those three losses that we just talked about. They have me like, yo, like if we didn't have those three losses, or we have, one of the three, or maybe not two, if we could just flip two of those, like our season, to what Took just said, it would have been a much better start. That's the part that I was looking for. It's a level of aggressiveness and a want to prove to other teams and the league, like, yo, the Grizzlies, we're here, like, and we're here to like for the rest of the season. I just kind of feel like they've kind of like let their foot off the gas to start early in the season, and it may cost them seeding when it comes to the end of the season.
Interesting. So for you, coaching is still an issue. All right,
That ain't
Trevor,
never
go
changed.
ahead.
I mean,
That's what I got out of that, And I'm with you.
I mean,
I'm
that's
with you.
that's never gonna change, and it's the same stuff that we've been saying since we've been talking on starting five. And
Hey,
that's one of the issues right there. And honestly and truthfully, I think the Grizzlies are where we kind of expected them to be. I think if you ask somebody with the first 10 games, you would say bare minimum 6-4, bare minimum 6-4 or better. So for me, they're right where they want to be, man. I just honestly think that once they're fully healthy and they can finally get some games together and like take the training wheels off when it comes to this minutes restriction, I don't know what this front office is on when it comes to that. Once everybody's healthy, I think, and hits their stride, then we'll start to see what Skylar was referring to, what we should have been looking forward to in the beginning of the season. So I don't think the Grizz have hit their stride yet. I believe they will eventually. I was sold on J Huff after the Utah game. I said immediately after I saw that first game, sign this man to a contract tomorrow. Like there's not like whatever contract it is, if it's 2-way or whatever, 10-day, sign him for the rest of the year. We got us another a nice stretch big for a change. Jalen Wells has played well. Big shout out to Zach Edey, who a lot of people, including myself, had a question about when it came to the draft pick. He's actually at the top of the rookie rankings right now and projected to be rookie of the year. So for me, they're right where I expect them to be. But if they don't change, if they continue to not guard the 3-point line, we're gonna have too many games like we've had in 3 of our 4 losses this season. So, actually, in all 4 of our losses, because Houston kind of shot the ball well from 3 as well in that game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So,
And real quick before two goes, shout out to Scottie Pippen Jr. as well too. Like, again, you talk about another diamond in the rough. Like that's where like I can at least reason to say like the front office has done a really good job of finding talent and developing it. But it's a matter of like there's aspects of it where like, okay, I like that you've done this, but then like to what you just said, Trevor, it's the it's to like, yo, like, what are we doing with these injuries? Like, and who can go, who cannot go, who's on minute restrictions, who's not. And for me, it just, I don't know at this point. I don't know if that's coaching or that's the medical staff. And I'm like, I need the Grizzlies. Seven says this all the time. Are we trying to win, or are we trying to tank, or are we trying to like be middle of the pack? What, as a fan, I need to know that, or I would like to know that. So therefore, I know how to like shift my energy of some sort.
Right.
I want to give credits like to the front office for, like y'all said, finding players to develop, but I think we also got to give credit to the players wanting to develop. And what I mean by that is, Santi Adama, any other team, he'd be a pretty good, forward, I guess, but he averaging the most minutes on the team, and his versatility kind of allows him to be on the court more, rather than again Jalen Wells, who I'm pretty high on, was pretty high on once he got out of college. Did I expect him to be putting up 11 points a game already so far, doing this smoothly? No, but I can appreciate it. I can appreciate it. Scottie Pippen Jr., like y'all said, just re-signing balling. Vince Williams should be coming back in a game or two. Again, I can't wait to see how he look with this team balling. So just credit to a lot of players on this team that wants to develop. It's just a matter of playing and lineups. Like Jenkins, every time I see you, I just see somebody that needs to be on a hot seat or should be on a hot seat. I could be 100% wrong, and Grizz Nation could be on my back on Twitter, which again, I don't give a damn about y'all. But Taylor Jenkins should be the hot seat, especially if, like I said, Lito, his expectations are probably a little bit less than mine. I've had pretty high expectations for the Grizz. So, 6-5, whatever, 5-4, cool, but losing twice to the Nets, who ain't got an all-star, that was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
And then pretty much giving up a 20-plus point lead at home to Chicago. That was
that I ain't gonna get my money back for that, because I actually again pulled up and I want my money back for that bullshit, bro.
Ooh,
sorry about that.
Literally. Yeah. One thing I would hope comes to fruition at some point, and I just want to see it for a stretch of games, call it 10 or 20 games. I just want to see what this team looks like holistically, with very little or to like nobody on the injury report. Like, I don't remember the last time I saw Grizzlies injury report when there was like less than 3 players, or there was anything less than 3 players. It's like 5 or 6 players on the injury report every single time. And so we're like, it's just one of those, like, I just want to see what the team looks like for a good 10 to 20 games. And therefore we can say, all right, this is the 7 to 8 that you're going to consistently roll with to end the season, going into or maybe even like 8 to 9. This is the group that you're going to go with. And this is kind of what I can expect from X, Y, and Z player, because I've seen this from them over a time period. That's kind of what I want to see. It's kind of unfortunate that even still now, like, the Grizzlies are kind of just as hurt as they were last year. The only difference is right now that John's not on the injury report, which he just got on the injury report yesterday. So like, there's that.
I was concerned when he took that nasty fall in the I think it was towards the end of the third quarter when he's trying to catch that lob. Yeah, I was like, I don't see Ja on the bench or anywhere, but he was like on the bike or whatever. So
and man's got no foul call on that, by the way.
Oh no, he
no foul call.
Definitely took a butt whooping in that one. That was
as long as they got the dubs.
As long as they got the dubs, it's all that matters. Win is a win.
That's all that matters.
All right, speaking of dubs, man, let's get into some NFL talk and NFL teams that are getting plenty of them. Trevor, the
all right, man. So at the request of our beloved guy that's sitting below us, we decided, just like we typically do every NFL season at some point, we got our power rankings, which if we were recorded last week, it would have been through week 8, but since a full week has passed, it's actually through week 9. As I mentioned to the guys before the show, 2 people got these power rankings correct as far as like where we eventually ended up at. Similar to what Tuke and the guys did with Rita Hardaway. If it was a team that you listed in each individual's top 5 that wasn't on the list, they got pretty much a 6 out of the top 5 just to help with the averages and things of that nature. So, without further ado, we are going to get to it. So just give me a second here. I'll share my full screen.
I'm interested to know who the 2 or the 3 is.
Right?
That's what I would like to know.
Well, the Grizzlies and the Lakers are going against each other again. Goodness gracious. NBA needs to chill with that shit.
There you go.
All right, y'all
presentation. Come on, presentation.
All right, so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The power rankings through week 9 for the NFL season. We're going to start backwards and we're going to work our way to 1. So, again, this is the combined average of the list based on everyone's ranking, individual rankings. We'll get to those later. So, at number 5, we have
dun, 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 dun.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hey, let's go.
Currently sitting up top of the AFC North right now at 6-2. Just came, of course, they were on a bye this past week for week 9. They're still on a nice little winning streak. Big time wins over impressive wins, if I might say, over Vegas, the Jets, and the Giants. So much so now, man, they got folks saying that the Steelers may be a potential. I don't believe it until I see it, a potential challenger to the Chiefs for the AFC crown. But anybody got anything they want to say about the Steelers at 5?
There was 50% I had 2 reasons why I put the Steelers at 5. Half of the reason just because I truly feel like they are, in terms of power rankings, in terms of like where teams are at this point of the season, I think they are probably the 5th best team in the league. But the other half came over that because I thought about what Took said a couple weeks ago is y'all should be more grateful that the Steelers are doing well, or y'all should be more grateful that the Steelers are, are playoff contenders. And so that's where half of that came from. So I wanted to suffice his feelings. I wanted to make sure, or I wanted to, give him that recognition that I thought about him when I put them there. But I put them there because of quarterback play, and they're healthy on defense. And I've always said that as long as the Steelers have a quarterback that can make a solid, 10, 15, 20 throws, they're going to be at the top of the league. They're going to be at least where they are now, or they can at least be a playoff contender and or fringe line Super Bowl contender. So that's what you've seen in Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, who has given you really good quarterback play, who was only giving you 2 turnovers in the 8 weeks or in the 8 games. 2 turnovers, or maybe I think it's 3 turnovers. But anyway, they're not turning the ball over. They're making the right throws that need to be made, and thus they're putting the Steelers defense in a spot to where they can do what they can do what they're best at, which is pinning their ears back. TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, and Cam Hayward. They can rush the passer, which they're really, really good at. You still got Minka Fitzpatrick, who's back there. Deshaun Elliott, who's free agent signing from Baltimore Ravens, balling, making a lot of good plays. Patrick Quinn, who kind of started the season kind of slow again defensively, he's coming along, and so you see the defense really, really performing well. I believe right now top 5 in the league, if I'm not mistaken. So they're playing really good football on the defensive side. Again, you have a running game that's come out of life out of nowhere, which I was extremely questioned about with Najee Harris. That looks good. George Pickens. I've been talking George Pickens on this podcast ever since his rookie year. He's that guy. And so he's looked good. The running game has looked good. Quarterback is looking good. They're, in my opinion, right now, the 5th best team in the league right now.
I couldn't echo those sentiments even more. And I think things are about to get much better now, especially with the moves that the Steelers finally made at the trade deadline. Shout out to Skyler and myself for speaking that into existence.
Or Jinx, whichever one you want to say.
Yeah, going out and getting Mike Williams from the Jets for a 5th rounder, of course, gives us a quality wide receiver too. If the intent is to make George Pickens a number 1, I don't think he's a 1 just yet. I still need to see just a little bit more. But the way that he's playing right now, he is well on his way to being on the NFL top 100, which I stated that he would be going into next season. So big get for the Steelers there. And then, of course, adding to the defensive line, getting us another pass rusher with Preston Smith for the Packers. So now you got him alongside Alex Highsmith, who's starting to come along after he's gotten back from injury. and you know what you're getting from TJ Watt. Again, I'm with Skylar. I think this is the 5th best team in the league, and honestly, truthfully, as of right now, how things are looking, they might just be the ones to maybe challenge the Chiefs. I'm not gonna go as far as say beat the Chiefs, but they could probably challenge them a little bit. And again, that's wishful thinking there. But so, anything you want to add on Pittsburgh at 5?
Nope, I didn't put them at 5 because I need to see how y'all felt about them. I'll be damned if I'm the only one that put the Steelers in my 5, and y'all Negroes ain't, and y'all supposed to be fans.
Nah. We'll get to who you had at 5 when I reveal everyone's individual list. All right, moving right along. At number 4, I'll keep it as that. We got at the top of the NFC East and the Steelers' opponent for next Sunday. Well, this Sunday, the Washington Commanders, currently sitting at 7-2 atop the NFC East. Wins over the Giants, Bears, and the Cardinals. They're also on a 3-game winning streak. Honestly and truthfully, I did not expect the Washington Commanders to be where they are. I see some movement there. I think getting Jaden Daniels and allowing him to go out there and play. They have their quarterback. They have a pretty stout defense. Of course, Scary Terry is Scary Terry. Things are looking up in Washington right now. But yeah, thoughts on the Commanders?
Yeah, I can go. I'm not sure if you're supposed to be in a specific slot, but you're still in the first one. I didn't know if you were trying to change that or not. But yeah, Trevor, you hit the nail on the head in terms of I don't think anybody saw the Washington Commanders would have been here going into the season. But that's the crazy thing about football. There's a team every single year that nobody on earth even saw the Washington Commanders being in this spot. Nigel, shout out to Nigel, huge fan of his.
Big
fan. He's a huge fan of the podcast. I don't believe he saw the Washington Commanders being right here at this point of the season. But no, they balling. They're doing what they're supposed to do. Jaden Daniels, he seems like that guy, and right now he seems like he should have been the number one overall pick in last year's draft. But he's balling. Scary Terry's got to be extremely happy to have a quarterback and the talent that he has in Jaden Daniels, because Scary Terry, in my opinion, he's now getting the conversation in the talks that he should have been getting years ago, because he's always been, in my opinion, one of the most underrated wide receivers in the league. So he's doing what he's supposed to do. The defense has been formidable. Not at the top in terms of rankings, but I think they've been good in the red zone, and they've been able to kind of get stops that at least puts Jaden Daniels in that offense in a spot or a position to close out some of the games. My only knock against the Commanders is listening to your wins that they have, which is I think 2 is against the Giants, 1 is against the Cardinals, and I think they have a couple of other okay wins. But at the end of the day, a win is a win in the NFL.
And then the Bears won, of course, with the Hail Mary.
I ain't gonna, yeah, exactly. And I think that's probably one of the better wins, honestly, if you think about the Chicago Bears defense. But yeah, so I think they've had a really good season. So I think I actually had them at 4 in my power ranking. So they're having a really good season, and I'm looking forward to the Washington Commanders and Steelers game on Sunday. That's gonna be a live one. 62 versus 72. I'm ready for that one.
All right. Took anything on the Commanders?
I would say it's good to see the Commanders commanding anything other than L's, but shit, when you used to support a team who ain't done nothing but give you L's 10 years, you really can't say too much of them. But shout out to Washington, shout out to them finding a quarterback. Shout out to the Bears fans I was talking to yesterday about whether they got literally the best quarterback in their draft class. One of them believed that Daniels is. One of them still believe that that Caleb Williams will have a better career. I mean, of course, it's way too early to tell. But still, salute to Jane Daniels and everything he's done. Shout out to his mom as well for having that. What's my guy's name from the game?
Malik Wright.
Malik Wright. Tasha Mack. Yeah, shout out to Malik Wright and Tasha Mack. Again, it's beautiful to see. Of course, they're not the only ones to have mothers as representatives, but it's still great to see, especially when you are a superstar to make it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else before we keep it moving?
I'm good.
All right.
Number three.
Number 3. So the top, well, I'll get to that when we get to our individuals. But at number 3, we got the Buffalo Bills. Sitting atop the AFC. Sitting atop the AFC East at 7-2. Big time wins. They got the Dolphins twice. They had a nice little their most recent one, I think, was against Jacksonville, of course, knocking off the Seahawks. They're streaking as well with 4 games in a row. And I kind of expect things to kind of keep rolling with them matching up with the Colts this upcoming Sunday, but who knows what may happen in that game. Thoughts on the Bills?
Definitely low key, actually high key MVP season for Josh Allen, honestly. I know when we talked at the beginning of the season, when we did our rankings in terms of who was going to finish where, in each division, I was extremely nervous about what their offense was going to look like without
Stephon
gosh,
Diggs.
without Stephon Diggs, and I was extremely worried about like what they were going to look like defensively. But they've actually been able to answer both of those. And so with Josh Allen not turning the ball over, their offense is looking still pretty good. They got the addition of Amari Cooper from Cleveland, so they look good there. Offensive line still been able to run the ball. So I think right now they're probably the 3rd best team in the league right now. Their defense still looks good. McDermott can still coach, which I was kind of questioning him as well, but he's been able to kind of answer my questions too. So I think they're really good behind the MVP season that Josh Allen is having.
Yeah, for me, real quick, I think this is kind of where Josh Allen is kind of at his best, when he's able to like spread the ball around and just find different receivers and just put on the masterclass that he typically puts on. I'll echo Skyler's sentiments as far as MVP. He definitely should be consideration. If we did an MVP rankings, he'll probably be 3rd on my list behind Jared Goff and obviously Lamar Jackson, but that's a different podcast for a different day. I think them getting Amari Cooper was huge, just to give themselves another weapon. The offensive line is still good, still able to run the ball. The defense is good. And it also benefits them that the rest of the AFC East is kind of collapsing. And I believe I was one that
good point.
And I believe I was maybe the only person on the AFC East episode that kind of picked the Bills to still win the division. I don't know why. What the rest of the crew was on, thinking Aaron Rodgers was going to be anything. But again, different pod, different day. But yeah, shout out to the Bills, man. They got it rolling. And I'll just leave it at that. So, 2.
Yeah, I definitely think. I believe it was T. That was the Bills representative that we had. Yeah, we owe her. Well, I speak for myself. I owe her a big ass apology. And it is. The season's halfway done, and I will love to give her that apology, but of course, we got to wait to the end of the season for that to happen. But she literally said what was going to happen, and it's happening. As far as like Josh Allen literally taking that next step into being an elite quarterback. Like he was a quote unquote great quarterback. I didn't call him great, but y'all did, and not y'all being y'all too, but y'all being America. Y'all called him a top tier quarterback, and now he's showing it. Even without his number 1 receiver, I think it's pretty impressive. 17 passes, 2 interceptions so far. Again, to a team of receivers where they aren't even household names. But Josh Allen know him. Josh Allen know what he's doing with him. James Cook having a pretty solid year as well. So again, shout out to the Bills, and shout out to T for saying that this was gonna happen. Hey, Jets, y'all got me looking dumb as hell too. But again, that's the only one. That's another talk for another day. Let's keep going, Trev.
All right, now this is probably gonna be the top 2 is gonna be controversial. I will say that much. Now,
I love it.
It's gonna be controversial. So let me make sure we good here. All right, so at number 2, we got the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs.
Y'all wrong for that. This is. I'm saying this now. This is y'all too fault. I had nothing to do with this, listeners. I ain't had nothing to do with this. Oh no, won't get me today. Oh, no.
Obviously, the Chiefs are the last undefeated in the NFL. No. Wins over the 49ers, the Ravens, the Raiders. I probably should have changed the Raiders to the Bucks because that was a pretty impressive win that they had this past week on Monday Night Football. Skyler and me probably gonna have the same things to say on the Chiefs, but I'm gonna let him take the reins on it. So Skyler, the Chiefs.
Give me 2 seconds, real quick, because I think I'm trying to remember where I actually had them. I think I had them.
You had them number 2.
Yeah, I think I had them at number 2.
Hell, I had them number 1.
I had them at number 2 only because of who I had at number 1. That's the only reason. Like, if I didn't have who I had at number 1, and if my number 1 team didn't look the way that they had been looking, that's why I have them where they are. Like the Kansas City Chiefs, I mean, they look good. They undefeated, right? I think you got to get credit where credit is due. It's like, if you think about, the ability to win back-to-back Super Bowls, and then go into their third year 8-0, bro. Like, that's crazy, bro. Like, you think about the work again that we talked about this when they won the last Super Bowl. Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. So as long as you have those 4, bro, like, you're just going to naturally be good because all 4 of them are really, really good at their job. Probably top of all time if you think about it. For them to be 8-0 in their third season and potentially be right now, they're probably Super Bowl favorites this year. Like, I think that's good. And the only reason I have them at 2 is who I have at 1. Like, that's the only thing. If it wasn't for that, I probably would have put them at 1. And I really went back and forth on that as well too. So no shade against the Chiefs at all, but it's a testament to how my number 1 team looked. That's why.
Yeah. I learned my lesson from when the Steelers started undefeated. You saw what happened when they started 11-0, and Kansas City Chiefs, they have not looked good this season. But to Skyler's point, when you have Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo making calls on the defensive side, you got Travis Kelce, who's now coming into it. When you have those guys, you pretty much have a fair shot of winning pretty much every game, and that's what they've done. Some games, Patrick Mahomes hadn't been his best, but the defense is stepped up and did what he needed to do, and Pat has made the plays down the stretch. But yeah, I just they haven't been looking good, and they haven't looked good for a vast, I'll say at least half of the season so far, at least 4 of those games. Because honestly and truthfully, the game against the Raiders, if the Raiders had anything resembling an offense, I think they beat the Chiefs in that game. I think the Bucks probably beat the Chiefs if they just decide to go for 2 in that situation, or if they got the luck of the coin toss. Who knows? But I do respect them being undefeated. It warrants them being this high because they're undefeated. But to Skyler's point, because of who I had as number 1 as well, and we'll get to that in a minute. That's why I got them at 2. So, 2, the floor is yours.
I know y'all saying that they don't look well, but 1, they're undefeated. 2, if you like, regardless of how they look, they beat the Ravens, Bengals, Saints for what it's worth, the 49ers, the Bucks, the Falcons. They started out pretty they beat them all, and like they haven't looked good. Whatever. Travis Kelce only 1 touchdown so far. Whatever. But we still gotta give respect to where it's due, y'all. That's crazy. But I respect who y'all got at number 1 because they were my number 2, so I can't talk too much about them. But at the same time, like, they Super Bowl champs, they ain't lost. Like, they number 1. But let's get to
that. And to also be fair, like, the reason they have not looked good is just because the injuries that they've suffered on offense.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like, if you think about it, if they had all their cards available to them, if they have Isaiah Pacheco, if they have Hollywood Brown, if they have
Rashee Rice,
and then if you think about it, you add Calvin Ridley to that. Goddamn you, Tennessee Titans fans.
You mean DeAndre Hopkins?
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins. Or I'm not sure why I got to say Kevin Ridley. But if you have, like, they would probably be blowing people out and still be 8-0. But I think it's a testament to, like, how it's all, for me, it's always, are you able to win when you're not at your best, bro? And to be fair, they're not at their best in probably majority of these games, but they're finding a way to win. Which at the end of the day, when you're in the playoffs, that's all you got to be able to do is to find a way to win, and they keep doing it. So I I think they're killing shit, honestly.
Yeah. All right, and I guess it's to nobody's surprise at this point to know who's the number one team. Probably the hottest team in the NFL right now, the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
7-1 right now, first in the NFC North. Of course, their wins, beating the brakes off the Cowboys, beating the brakes off the Titans, and then last week's win against Green Bay, going up to Lambeau in their first game outside for the entire season and just beating the brakes off of Green Bay. Like it's just something about this team. Like Dan Campbell has really come in and made a big change. Shout out to, I keep forgetting their general manager's name. Big shout out to him as well. It's just like a swagger about them. They're coming in and they're not just coming in to win. They coming in to beat the brakes off of you. And I think that's something you really, really have to respect what's going on. And again, had the Chiefs have been doing the exact same thing that Detroit is doing right now, I probably would have had the Chiefs at 1, but the Chiefs haven't looked good all season despite them still being undefeated. But I'll just leave it at there. Have at it, fellas, Detroit.
Yeah, I think the biggest reason I put Detroit at 1 was because of the win that they had last week against Green Bay. Like, yeah, they beat the brakes off the Cowboys and they beat the brakes off of the Titans, and they had a really close win against the Vikings, which division of foes, so their game's gonna always be close. But I feel like that Green Bay game was, granted, it was only a 10-point win, but it was as if like when Detroit, when they led in that game, it was a wrap. It just felt like they like suffocated Green Bay, and there was nothing that you can do. And to be able to do that against a division foe, but then they also did that against the Titans, the Cowboys, the Vikings. They did that against the Cardinals, and that even more. I think their second most impressive win was against the Rams. I think week 1, like they looked like bullies. And I feel like in the NFL and as a really good football team, you at some point you got to be a bully, bro. And Dan Campbell has led his team to where like they walking in your trap, bro, and they taking over that jump, bro. And I just think that that's so impressive. I think them losing Aiden Hutchinson and then going out and be like, yeah, okay, we're going to lose Aiden Hutchinson, who to start the season was the defensive player of the year candidate. And we're just going to go get Zadarius Smith from Cleveland Browns. Like, yeah. I was just like, bro, like, I appreciate teams that recognize, like, yo, I'm in my bag. I'm in my prime. This is our opportunity to win. So whatever it takes that we need to do to win, we going to do that. If that means giving up draft picks, if that means going to go get a big name to add to the depth of what I already have, I'm going to do that just so I can optimize where I am in my window. And I feel like that's exactly what the Detroit Lions are doing. Jared Goff is balling, MVP candidate. I think one of y'all talked about that earlier. The biggest stat, bro, Jared Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown, they have hit 30 times in a row. They have hit from Jared Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown. They have not missed a connection in 30 straight passes, bro. That is insane.
Why the curse?
That's insane, bro. Like that's
the commentator curse too.
Way to curse him.
Right. Damn. I just thought that was super impressive, bro. Like they balling. At one point, I think the Lions had more touchdowns than they had incompletions by Jared Goff over a 2 or 3 game stretch. Yeah, like come on, bro. Like, and again, these are against it's good formative foes. Like it's against the Titans, who have a really good defense. It's against the Vikings, who have a really good team. It's against who else is on here? Let's not talk about the Cowboys. Seahawks, when they beat the Seahawks was rolling. It's against the Arizona Cardinals, who, if I'm not mistaken, the Arizona Cardinals are leading their division. Like, like, come on, bro. Like, they beating the brakes off folks, bro. And I just think it's super impressive.
I love it. It looked like Jared Goff really, like, this is his team. Of course, it's been his team, but like these his guys. Coach Dan, if he got a brother, I know a team that could use you. because his coaching style is like we made fun of it a few years ago. Of course,
we definitely
his emotions and not keeping them in check or keeping them in check.
Biting up
prefer to do it.
Stuff.
Like, come on now, dog. Like, come on. But this is the team that a lot of neutral fans like myself just like watching, enjoy watching. Like, especially with the fantasy. Like, of course, either running back you good. The connection that you talk about with Goff and St. Brown is beautiful. Of course, I got St. Brown on 2 out of 3 of my leagues, so I'm happy with what I'm seeing from those two. You talked about stats, though, real quick. I'll bring on my stats and we'll move on. But the Detroit Lions are leading the league in point differential, plus 110. They're the only team to have a plus 100 anything. And of course, shout out to the
Covio trap. That's when we say.
And of course, shout out to the team that is a negative 146.
God damn! I mean, sorry. Yo, you should just let.
Shout out to that team, whoever that team may be.
Negative 146.
Shout out to that team.
Whoever that even get an option, bro.
Whoever that team may be that just got their second win a week ago.
Shout out to about a week ago.
Shout out to shout out to the Lions, man. Yeah, I see why y'all named the number one. I get it. I understand. I'm a fan. But shout out to Detroit.
Yeah, I know. We talked about Dan Campbell, and I'll make this quick, but I'd be remiss if we didn't give credit to what Ben Johnson is doing on the offensive side of the ball, as well as Aaron Glenn, who's doing this thing on the defensive side of the ball as a defensive coordinator. So, of course, my flowers goes out to those two, man. And anything else on the Lions?
And we barely even talked about David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs. Barely.
Like the disrespect.
Like, come on. Bro.
I mean, I mentioned for fantasy purposes. I gave a shout out.
Well, they both, bro. They both damn near guaranteed a touchdown, maybe even 2 a game.
They both got they both had 7. Bro. They had 7 apiece, bro. That's crazy. Like you got 14 touchdowns.
I remember when the Lions signed David Montgomery, and I was like, yep, this is going to work out perfect for them. And then when they drafted Jameer Gibbs,
when they got that Jameer Gibbs, I said, yeah, they run ain't gonna be disgusting. And
yeah, and it's showing.
Must be nice.
All right, y'all. Well, that's the average power rankings.
Good job, Trev.
Read them and weep, and then of course I'll leave y'all with what each person had as far as the individual power rankings. And Took, I will give you the floor to make your case because you had the Vikings at on the list. You had them at 5. While Skylar and I had the Bills at 3, you had them at 4, and then you also had Green Bay on the list. So the floor is yours.
I didn't have Green Bay on the list. I had them at first. I had them on my first list, and then took them out for Minnesota. Just like I said, simple for like I didn't know what y'all was gonna do with the Steelers, and I didn't know if y'all were gonna actually show them love because I just don't know.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I just don't know.
That's my bad. Yeah,
you good. Yeah, you good, bro. No, but I just enjoy watching the Vikings. Like y'all know me, Sam Darnold, dark horse, not for what it's sake as far as like being a good quarterback. He went to literally, in my opinion, the perfect opportunity, the perfect team for the simple fact of you just got to get Justin Jefferson the ball. Like just give him the ball. And what Sam Darnold's strong point is, no pun intended, but he got a pretty strong arm. Just get this dude the ball, which is what he's been doing, which is why they are 6-2, which is why they're, if they're not in your top 5 team, they're right at 6, right at 7 at the worst. So just shout out to the Vikings. They got a strong run game. Aaron Jones is coming alive. I'm a fan of this team. I like what I'm seeing. Let me see. Well, I talk to everybody else, or
I'll touch on the Vikings. The reason because for me it came down to the Vikings. Between the Vikings, the Steelers, and the Commanders. I'm just gonna keep it honest. That's who it really came down to for me in my list. To everything that you're saying, I like what I saw when I'm seeing from Minnesota. Sam Darnold has probably had a new leash on life, just like what a lot of these quarterbacks have been having lately. Aaron Jones, I think when Minnesota decided to let go of Dalvin Cook, I think a lot of questions were had as to what they were going to do as far as the run game is concerned, but them getting Aaron Jones was big time, and he's looked great. You already know about Justin Jefferson, probably the best wide receiver in the NFL. And everything else is still pretty solid with them. So I can understand why you had them on your list.
They don't like he was in deep thought.
No, I was just looking up something, but no, I think the only other thing I would add to the Vikings is shout out to Brian Flores,
who should be the DC for the Steelers right now, but that's a different story.
The defensive coordinator of the Steelers, but he's got that Vikings defense balling, and I think he's a huge part of the reason why they were one of the last remaining unbeaten teams in the NFL. So their defense, outside of the offense, which y'all have already talked about, is playing on par as well.
All right.
Right on. I need to do the rest of my list, or how we doing the show?
No, you're good. I think because for the most part, I think we all had 4 of the same 5 teams.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Cool. You had the Vikings, we had the Steelers. That was the difference.
And like I said, flip flop for me, it literally could have been the same. You know,
yeah,
they could have been the same. Yeah. Cool. Hey, what you got?
So Christian McCaffrey is scheduled to make his season debut this Sunday against Tampa Bay.
Damn, he ain't played all season, huh?
Nope.
Sheesh, smart move. Shout out to everybody who got Jordan Mason on time. That was able to play him for what it's worth.
Immediately, right after week 1.
For what it's worth, I hope y'all were able to do so well. All right, man. Let's get into let me see a word from our sponsor real quick, and of course we're gonna have our PLP coming up real quick.
SeatGeek is the ticket app that takes the confusion out of buying tickets. When you use our code LBR Media, you will get $20 off your first SeatGeek order.
So
SeatGeek scores each ticket selection 0 to 10 to let you know if you're getting a good deal or a bad deal. Click the link in the description to download the app, and remember our code LBR Media for $20 off your first order. SeatGeek, your route to high quality ticket selection.
All right, of course the NBA season has started, bro. We can get a little talk with the NBA season, whereas Trevor makes his way back on wherever he went. That might just dipped on us. Just real disrespectful.
I'm gonna watch the game on y'all.
I ain't got time for this. Shout out to SeatGeek though. But real quick, bro, as Trevor comes back on, let's again LBR POP, our player of the pod, is what we like to do. Everybody in the comments, let us know if you had a player in mind that just made a interesting effort of the last week or really beginning of the season, since really this is probably one of the first pods we've done since the season. Dito, you had your hand raised, bro. Who your POP?
Yeah, bro, because when I watched this play yesterday, I was like, damn, that might balling. And I was like, let me go back and look and see what his season stats look like. So, Took, tell me if you saw Buddy Hield to start the season averaging 21 points a game.
Not 20, but no.
50% from the field.
I did
50% from 3, and the Golden State Warriors having the best record, or if not one of the better records in the NBA season. Please tell me you had that coming. You a smart man. But
I had Buddy Hield at 16. I had him at 45% shooting. I didn't know. I told Splash Buddies. See, Splash Buddies.
Hey, somebody must took my player, my POP.
Yeah, you got Buddy Hield too?
Buddy, yes, I did.
Okay, so somebody else, I said, hey, bro, somebody got to be made aware of what Buddy Hield is doing. Cub flat out here balling. That's my player. I did not see that.
All he needed was somewhere he can go and have a green light to do what he does best. And then he was Steph too. Oh yeah,
he played a part. Go to Buddy Hield, big dog.
I like it. Hey, look, like I said, I expected about 15, 16. Steve Kerr got away with veteran players. He don't know what the hell to do with young players. That's another talk for another day. But shout out to Buddy Hield for revitalizing his career as another Warrior. Apparently Golden State is the key for like old players who want to do something new for their career. But win.
Man, old is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, Buddy Hield been around for a minute.
He has. I have a different one. I don't think it's translated to a whole lot of wins, but my POP goes to Took's cousin, LaMelo Ball, who
yes, sir,
putting up just
big baller
straight up buckets and is balling for Charlotte right now. If honestly and truthfully, if they can stay healthy, they can maybe make some noise towards the bottom of the East, maybe sneaking a play in. But again, that relies on LaMelo Ball's health. We'll see what we're gonna get with Brandon Miller, who looks better. Who's better, a whole lot better. So this Charlotte team is pretty exciting. They may be the quote unquote league pass team, but yeah, for right now, big shout out to LaMelo Ball.
League pass team, I feel it.
That league pass. It's fine. I told y'all the Hornets will be at least exciting. Coming in, at least exciting. I had a hard time picking one, especially because it's a team that I had a lot of hopes for. Not a lot of hopes for, but I knew that we're going to be well, specifically because of their coaching. And that's the Cleveland Cavs. So I guess players of the pod, just their whole team still undefeated. I know a lot of trade rumors as far as like, hey, we need to trade Darius Garland, we need to trade Donovan Mitchell. Then when they got a coach that knows how to use guards, and Kenny Atkinson, big fan of his since he was with the Nets. And it's a beautiful thing to watch. And do I expect the train to keep rolling? Honestly, I'm not going to say they're going to be undefeated. I'm not going to say that they're going to have a better record than the Celtics. But as far as like the regular season go, I do expect them to be right there at the top 2, top 3 team because they got it all.
Don't be surprised if they in the top 3.
If they fall out the top 3 is because of injuries. But I love what I'm seeing.
I had one for you, man. You could have gave Evan Mobley some flowers. He's starting to finally come along. Like you knew what you was getting from Garland and Mitchell, especially like in what you just mentioned with Kenny Atkinson. But yeah, I think Evan Mobley deserves a little flowers as well.
Definitely.
True, but if I were to give a player that I would name a player, it'll be Darius Garland though, like 20-7.
Yeah,
you can't, even Donovan Mitchell like scoring is dipping. Yeah, they still winning, and I don't think he cares about it.
Yeah, the couple of times I've watched Darius Garland, to me his jumper looks a little bit better. He looks a little bit more confident in that. And for me, that's the biggest key for me is him finding that part of his game and being more consistent with it. So thus far in the season, not even full 10 games in, that looks to see, the part of the game that he improves on. But it's a very, very, very long season. So we'll see how, if he's able to maintain that.
Cool. 2 weeks in, any teams impress y'all, gentlemen, or players?
No, but it's a team out there in Milwaukee that's struggling right now. it's a team out there in Milwaukee. We can talk about that next time. But they ain't.
No, we ain't gotta wait. We ain't gotta. We talked about it on 3 to Hardaway a little bit, so we can go ahead and finish it right.
I'll tell you right now.
We finish it right here.
Me, Took, and Savage are literally the Spider-Man meme right now, just pointing at each other because. Oh man, it is crazy. It is crazy.
Look,
bro, who want to start?
As CEO and president of Buck the Bucks Entertainment, I'm here to say
y'all said that on 3 to Hardaway.
I'm here to say that y'all, not y'all again. When I say y'all, I don't mean y'all too. I just wanted to start throwing it as a narrative. But y'all are idiots. Y'all are dumb for whoever keeps saying that Giannis is a top 3 player in the league. You sound dumb as hell to me. Dame Lillard, shout out to him. My brother just turned 30. That's his favorite player. He hit me up the first game. Oh, look how they whooping Philly. Look how they doing this. Bro, they ain't even got Embiid, and they ain't got Embiid and Paul George, what we talk about. And they ain't won a game since. So, again, Buck the Bucks, anybody calling Giannis a top 3 player, you sound stupid as hell. And that's all I'm going to say.
No, that cannot be all that you say, because what I'm going to say has nothing to do with any of the players that you just mentioned. I'll be damned if typically around April or May, I say, all right, it's about this time of the year where you start to see, or you start to know that, hey, this player is going to act the same way that they always act, or you're going to see this, or you're going to see that. And I'll be damned if every April or May, I say, y'all, it's Doc Rivers season. It's Doc Rivers season. And I'll be damned. We ain't even got to make it to December. We ain't even got to make it to December. And I'll be damned if I don't understand how on God's green earth, Doc Rivers, who can't even get this team to 500 to start the season, is making how bad he has this team, how bad this team looks, bro. I'll be damned, bro. If this is karma. This is what this is. This is karma.
He has a losing record since taking over, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Like, it's karma because of how they did Adrian Griffin, and they fired Adrian Griffin, who had, if I'm not mistaken, had a 700 win percent. He had a 700 win percentage.
Yeah,
he was winning.
Was what 15, 20 games over 500?
Yeah, they
And
were 30 and 13.
So they said, you know what?
They were
Nah,
30
bro.
and 13.
They said, nah, bro, we can't do it with you. But that consultant or the guy that's helping you, let me go get him. And the way that they did Adrian Griffin, bro, and what's happening to the Milwaukee Bucks is nothing but karma, bro. That's exactly what that is. And so, where I want to like put it all on Doc Rivers, because a lot of it is him, bro. This is karma, bro. And this is exactly what they get for doing that black man the way that they did him.
It's not that. It's the way they're doing the Dame Lillard, black man as well.
Yeah, that's part of it too.
No.
I hold him hostage. They hold him hostage.
Wait till I provide my take, because Dame Lillard ain't escaping this either. When are we as a society and as basketball fans are gonna stop moving the goalposts for Damian Lillard? Like honest and truthfully, like we applaud him for what all he quote unquote did in Portland, which let's just be honest, wasn't much. Let's be honest, he got one conference finals, which is the 1 year where he just couldn't miss, but he just ran into the Warriors at the time, the KD Warriors. We already knew he didn't want to be there. Let's just start from there. There's a reason that Terry Stotts, who was brought on as an assistant with Adrian Griffin before last season started, there's a reason that Terry Stotts left, and it was because of Dame Lillard. If y'all don't know, Terry Stotts was Dame's coach in Portland, and they didn't have the best relationship. And I also will reference this. So I watched, I don't know why, I guess I was bored. I watched First Take a couple of days ago, and they were literally
super bored. You were bored as hell.
I literally said I was bored.
Yeah,
and one of the things, and they were talking about the Bucks, and I was listening to Kendrick Perkins like literally just try to make it seem real sympathetic for Dame and like move the goalposts for him by blaming everything that's going on Giannis not being a leader, Giannis not doing this, that, and that.
True.
And I'm like, I get we know what's going on with Doc Rivers. We know what Tuka's told y'all about Giannis, but if I'm Dame, I need to be going to Giannis to figure out how to make stuff work, because it seems as though he plays better when Giannis is not on the floor and vice versa. And to me, that's Dame's to figure out, because to Tuka's dismay, Giannis is still a champion. So if you're trying to make this work, you might want to take advice from the damn champion. Oh, not only a champion, but an MVP and a DPOY. The DPOY, that's still debatable in my opinion. I think it should have went to Anthony Davis. But that's a different story. That's water under the bridge. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is karma that is coming to roost for the Bucks organization, for Dame Lillard, for Doc Rivers, obviously, and for Giannis.
No, for the fact that he
Rondo don't deserve this. Chris Middleton don't deserve this.
What? Never mind. It's time for the Bengals and the Ravens. I don't understand why. It's a lot about that team I don't understand. It's a lot about that team I don't understand.
And then on top, they're older. They don't have any depth. Brook Lopez is getting older. So yeah, they don't have any draft picks. So they pretty much stuck. I think they don't have a draft pick, if I'm not mistaken, to like 2030.
Damn.
So yeah.
Talk about the Bucks.
Yeah, the Bucks.
Speaking of the Bucks. Oh, well, I can't find it. Here we go. Troller now. We're going to end this on a nice note. Because I said this on 3 the Hard Way. And, of course, I gave my 5 landing spots for where I believe Giannis should go. Giannis should go to the place where careers go to die. And that city is Brooklyn. So trolling now. Giannis need to be traded to Brooklyn so we ain't gotta watch him play basketball no more.
It should be, or like that.
I'm done. With it.
I don't.
Just by that remark and two laughing, that's a troll.
That's a troll. Yeah, definitely.
Management has already come out and said that they're not trading Giannis, and I don't think that.
Well, I call cap. I call cap.
I call cap
It's
on that
okay.
shit too.
I call cap on it.
But I think what they will do is, I think at some point Giannis is going to be like, okay, bro, like it's time for me to leave. And I think what they'll end up doing is because I mean, he brought a championship to the organization. He'll ask to get traded somewhere, and then they'll make it work with some team that he wants to go to. And I don't believe Brooklyn is anywhere on that list. So he'll go somewhere that he really wants to go to. So I'm going to call troll from that aspect.
Brooklyn is beautiful.
According to who?
A lot of
I mean, I've messed with Brooklyn, but the Nets, no. Come on.
I'm calling Brooklyn. No. I mean, no shade.
New Jersey?
No shade, but shade. Brooklyn ain't beautiful. No shade, but shade.
Oh man, I want to see him wear that stale ass white and black jersey.
I'm just like
career just done, just died, just do it.
That's tough.
I know, but real talk. Let's entertain this. What would be a good fit for him?
I've been saying the Warriors, bro, on a real serious note. Now that's karma. That is karma that I expected for whatever reason. The Warriors, Giannis, like, why is he on the team? But I feel like that's something the Warriors would do desperately to keep Steph Curry. But I had him. I had the Warriors. I had the Bulls. I had the Nets. I had the Heat, and I had somebody else.
I don't see the Bulls pulling it off because the
Bulls ain't pulling it off. They still trying to move.
What the hell the Bulls got?
They been trying to move them for years.
The Bulls got what the Bulls got?
Only Bulls because a whole bunch of money and a whole bunch of players that need to be off their team. It's right across. Giannis ain't got to move too far.
I'm gonna say this. I just hope that you're not right about the Warriors because in some form or fashion, I think the Warriors got one more move in them. I think they got one more splash in them.
Yeah, I kind of.
And I'm not sure if it is Giannis, but it's a pretty big one that they got. I think that organization again, even though Bob Myers is no longer there, I still think they're run pretty good. They're run well enough where they'll find a really good trade that will benefit the Warriors. So,
agree. Okay. Got you any other troll or no? Since mine wasn't really a troll.
I may have one next week. It's been a minute.
Cool, man. Great pod, man. Y'all funny as hell, bro. I miss y'all. I miss y'all, man. But again, man, y'all, remember that homework, bro. I'm telling you, we're gonna have it ain't gonna be too long of a conversation.
I'm tripping off of that, but the new deal they just signed should cover that. So
we need to figure out is it the timing of the WNBA games?
How much? $4 million, $4 billion.
40
million. Out of the great, beautiful season that we've talked about literally all season. We've talked about it a lot.
Well, you mentioned one of the reasons, and I'll elaborate on that next week.
Yeah, next week.
We'll bring it up next week, everybody. Again, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate everybody for rocking with us, especially on this Thursday, man. Let's go watch some good football. But before then, again, make sure y'all check out our other pods. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe with us as well. 3 to Hardaway, of course, one of the best hoop spots around. Jeans Report again. Oh, hey, who doing that? Hey, there we go.
No, that was my bad. It was a mistake.
Hey, there we go.
I was like, yo, I've been smoking way too much. It's like, what is happening right now?
Am I doing this? I'm not doing this. No,
that was my bad. That was an accident.
That jump went into a view I ain't never seen before.
Again, shout out Jeans Report, 1,000 plays, man. Definitely keep them rocking, doing what you're doing over there. Ryan Harris in the comments. Shout out to him. He was quiet in the comments, man. We're gonna have to hop on this case one day. He was quiet in the comments.
He probably watching the game, bro. Like let that man be.
Nah, bro. He's supposed to be watching us.
He gotta get some good. Let that man get some form of good football. He had to put up with the Titans.
I mean, that's true. That's true too. Of course, man. LBR with gaming, man. Make sure y'all go check out me and my alien brother Trev getting dubs in that wreck. Of course, more to come, man. Without further ado, again, I am Tev Shakir on everything but Threads. Because why do you have one? Again, all my beautiful black people out here, smile, roll something, take a sip of something, do what you need to, decompress, put your mental health first, especially around times like these, because we're going to be good. And like Trev said, we're not okay, but we're going to be all right. Trev?
Yeah, I'm at the Art of Trevor on Twitter. Of course, you know of is a preposition, so you know what not to do with it. Tug already mentioned LBR Gaming. Check us out, getting buckets in the wreck, getting W's in the wreck. More to come from that as well. Hey, peace. That's all I got to say.
Of course, Lito.
Daddy
Big
two
fan.
times, bro. Daddy two times. Finna give me a chain. I had that joint on next week. I iced it all out. You know, Emery on one side, Eve on the other side. Daddy two times.
Hey, no. Two really. So, like, you remember the episode of Boondocks where Riley was selling the chocolate bars? So remember when Jasmine had bought that chain for her dad, and that joint was like go out, it's gonna have daddy on that joint. That's what
yes, sir. Daddy two times. But no, man, this was fun, bro. I definitely appreciate the opportunity to do this with y'all, to talk about sports, to check people and to laugh, bro. That's the only reason I'm here.
That's why we're here, man.
That's why we're here. All minds clear. Let's go and get on out of here, man. Again, I hope y'all have a great weekend. Good luck to y'all football teams. Hopefully the Steelers will be top 5 and y'all be more enthusiastic about them being top 5 next week. Again, y'all got y'all homework assignments, so let's get it. Y'all stay blessed out here. Peace out.
Peace.
Peace.